Hey guys, it's your girl Brina,
And this is Tasha.
and it's Us on Reality. And for this episode, we're doing Ready to Love, Season 7, Episode 7, Queens Don't Chase.
Mm.
So just a little, right, yeah. Just a little thing that I was looking at. So we don't watch these shows in live time, right?
Right. No, we don't.
No. So we're
Yep.
watching recordings.
Yeah, we got real life happening.
Okay. So I was watching them, I binged them last night, 7, 8, 9, and I thought to myself, oh, how funny. All of these titles, Queens Don't Chase, Nair in the Hair, and I think 9 was like, Wife Me Please.
Yeah.
All of those are things that Morgan is saying, or that Morgan is contributing to the show.
Yeah.
What do you think about that? Do you think that they're like sealing her longevity?
No, I think that Morgan is saying some marketable things.
Mm.
And she, to me, I don't know. We'll get into it, but I feel like she's becoming so much more aggressive.
When we first started, we loved Morgan.
Mm-hmm. We did.
And now I'm just kind of like, girl.
Yeah.
When they were on that date at the beach, and it was her and Lyndon and Marcia and Tony. And she said she'd never been in love before. And we talked about this.
Yeah.
We talked about this because I was like, is that a red flag or is she being cautious? After Nair in the Hair, I was like, red flag.
So Tommy is getting them all together to see her in one big dinner. And called The Oasis, which I love the aesthetic of this place because there was so much green velvet everywhere. The curtains, couches, the chairs. I really like that.
That place was dope. Yeah.
It was really cute. What stuck out for me, I really like Tony and Jonique's interaction. And then at that point when I saw them like at the bar, like talking and interacting, I like their interaction and them being together more than I liked him with Morgan because he just seemed more himself.
Natural.
With Jonique. And she was vibing with him. She liked him. They were having a good time together. Whereas I feel like with Morgan, she's kind of starting to come with all of these demands. And Jonique is just like, oh, it is what it is. Like she goes with, like she could just jump right into his flow as opposed to stop doing what you're doing.
I think that Morgan is the kind of woman that Tony says that he wants, and then the woman that he wants to be seen with. But Jonique seems like exactly what you're saying. And he can feel it too, because he was like, oh, Jonique's kind of slid up there. I don't really see him connecting really with Marcia, but he keeps putting Marcia as second place. And I'm just like, why?
Well, if we have to remember their first date together, it was great.
Yeah, it was.
We remind ourselves that we are not hearing all of these phone conversations that are happening between the shows. So if they are communicating like they were on that first date, I can understand because they're in each other. They're not like it's just one person really liking the other. They're in each other's top. So I
true.
Get that. I do get it. We just don't. I don't think we get to see all of it.
No, I believe that. I completely get that. I thought it was funny. That episode opened up, like on a cliffhanger kind of from the last one, where they're sitting on the couches and they're talking about they have to say who's their top and who's their bottom. Jeffrey, her delivery for Blake, I don't remember what it was. That's not the point. The point is that Jeffrey, revealed, not a big surprise, that Blake is not her person. Right. And then the back and forth and how everybody's faces, everybody's like,
yeah.
That was never said.
We're done talking because if you're too old to lie, Blake. Stop talking about me too, by the way. Advocates too. Please do. Okay, sweetheart.
And then Marcia said, I don't like this. Morgan said, I do.
Yeah. Whenever all that stuff is going on, I really like to look at what's the girl that we love?
Cynthia.
Yeah, I love to see her interaction because she'd be like,
So even though I didn't care for Jeffrey's shenanigans, that's how I felt like they were. How she was letting it be known Blake wasn't her cup of tea, and neither was Sue Ann. She was letting it be known. her outfits were fire. I love that red that she had on. It was like some kind of lace here. I love that. And then in the ITM or the confessional, the blue she had on with that necklace.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah, she dresses well. It was really crazy when Jonique was saying to Lyndon, you know, it seems like all of the connections are mutual. I wonder what it would be like for somebody. He was like, and then I was like, out here like murking these people's feelings.
I thought it was so cute how they sat there and giggled about that. It gave me Bianca and Kellen vibes, like two good friends just sitting there hanging out and like having a good time. Like he could be vulnerable and tell her, oh, that actually happened to me. And then they could laugh about it and he wasn't feeling no kind of way. And she didn't think less of him.
Yeah, I thought it was very cute.
Yeah, it was cute. Linda was like, matter of fact, I shot my shot with Mercedes and it failed.
Yeah, like she was in my, but I was not in hers, you know?
I think that's interesting. So it sounded like Lyndon thought Mercedes was in his top. Andre seemed to have had Mercedes in his top, but she didn't have them in hers.
That's what I'm saying. She's out here murking their feelings.
Look, Mark Anthony came in and Mercedes said, who? Who else here?
She did. She let them boys go like she let them braids go.
I loved her hair in the confessional when it was that deep wave. That was cute.
That is cute.
So I appreciate though that Mercedes is like Mark Anthony and Anthony are her top, because after we see how more of these guys interact and the stuff that they do, Anthony seems, obviously she's physically attracted to Mark Anthony, but Anthony just seems like a good dude.
He does. And we'll see more.
He just seems like a really good dude.
Yeah. Oh my God. When you were talking about them all sitting there discussing how Jeffrey had something to say about Sue-Ann Blake, and then at the end, Jeffrey said that she just felt disturbed for Advocate Sue. I feel disturbed for her. That's what she said. I was like, dang. My God.
Sometimes Jeffrey is funny, and I'm like, oh, I can see that. I like it.
Funny. And then in that same way, I feel like a lot of the women they talked to Anthony here, well, a lot of the women, Marcia and what was her name? That Marcia and Morgan. They were talking to Mark Anthony, or not Mark Anthony.
They were talking to Anthony, yes. And that was like, so awkward.
It was awkward because I feel like he's putting in work with the women he wants to put in work with. And so you're trying to get him to give you more. He doesn't want to. That's why
he's giving you what he has.
He's giving you what he wants.
That's exactly what I thought. I was like, they're like exactly what you said. Y'all are coming hard at this man. Like, he don't get it. When two women are telling you the same thing, it's the truth. You don't get it. I was like, y'all aren't his cup of tea. If this was Mercedes and who else is it? Cynthia.
Yeah.
They would describe a completely different Anthony.
It would, because he's pursuing them.
Because he likes them.
He does like them. I think with the other women, he's trying to do what Tommy told them to do, which is to not cancel out anybody. You're supposed to make yourself available to everybody.
Right. So I think that like he's doing that, but it becomes evident when someone is just going through the motions because there's other people that he's connecting more with. So he's more present with those people. And Morgan and Marcia, it's not surprising that Anthony is not pursuing them, whereas someone like Tony is catching their eye.
Yeah.
It's not surprising. Yeah. So at this point, just like you were saying, they were sitting on the couch. Tommy said, who's this, who's that? They dished. And then he let them mingle a little bit. And then that's when they're all like, this is who I'm not vibing with. And then we had our first elimination.
I was really surprised.
I was totally surprised. First of all, highly surprised that the women did not put up Blake.
Girl,
because only Sue-Ann likes him.
Right. Why are we
only Sue-Ann? So people have been talking about Blake in social media. And you know, sometimes I get on stuff. So so if nobody wants to hear this part about Blake because you just want to watch the show, I'll find the marker and then I'll note it in the comment where it comes back. So it was online that one of Blake's exes came out. Then she was saying that he was abusive and that he was derogatory and that he was controlling. And she said that this was like 10 years ago, I think she said. Yes, because I think, yeah, Blake's in his 40s. So she said this was when Blake was in his 30s and she was in her 20s. So she was like 18 years his senior or his junior. And she recognized something in him wasn't right. And she called it off. And she was like, he was kind of like just controlling and aggressive. And then it escalated. And then he pushed her, she said. And she was like, I ended it there because she noticed a pattern of escalation. And she was like, the next thing he's going to do is hit me or choke me. So she ended it. And she said that Blake is his last name. Something else is his first name, Jamil or something like that. But she was like, he's on this show and he's trying to be phony.
Yeah, he comes across as phony.
He comes across as very, very rehearsed.
Yes, he does. And it comes to whose job it is to figure out what the truth is, can't see this.
So, okay, so no shade to her. And in her defense, if you really like somebody, it's hard to see the truth until it's in your face.
It's in her face. It's been in her face since episode 1.
She really likes him. All she sees is his charm.
So does this not come out now? Do you not kind of give a little sympathy to Jeffrey? Like, she's probably telling the truth.
She may be, yeah.
What would she have to lie about? Why would she lie about that?
Especially since nothing else really about her character seems misleading.
No. And Blake is...
And Blake seems sus, yeah.
He always seems sus. So that's...
And Sue-Ann just seems smitten, and I don't know why. So, yeah, I could definitely see all that being factual.
Maybe it's because a lot of Disney princes have... and she's feeling like she needs a Disney prince to go with her Disney princess persona.
Okay, so it's interesting they didn't put up Blake, but understandable then in that case that they did the lifeline because people have connections with Anthony and Mark Anthony. It would have been stupid to get rid of one of them. And then Blake's still here. That would have been dumb. And so then they got rid of Jonique.
That was trash. And I completely agree. Cynthia, when she said she was so mad at them not using their lifeline, and now they've lost it.
Okay, so they didn't know they were going to lose it. And I'm not surprised that no one used it on Jonique. I love Jonique. She seems cool, but none of the guys were vibing with her romantically. Even with Tony, she seemed more like she's cool. It's natural. It's the homegirl. I didn't see anything romantic. So I'm not surprised they didn't use it.
True. That's true.
Yeah. And I love what she said. Somebody said, oh, I'm so sorry. She was like, I'm ready to love, just not with any of these guys.
Right.
I love Jonique. Her confidence is beautiful.
Yeah.
Her confidence is beautiful. I love it.
I feel like I hated that they got rid of Jonique. I agree with everything you said, but I really think it was a great time to eliminate both Sue and Blake.
Yeah.
And they could have just went off their own little merry way.
Right.
After the elimination, we have Sue-Ann and Anthony's dated.
What you think about Anthony's doormat?
I love it. I want it for my home. I'm going to find it.
That is not the kind of energy that I want to set out in front of my house.
I do.
It's and not obviously other people do too.
Right outside the house, on the step coming into the house, I hope you brought wine. And so then right when you step in the door, I say, there were no shoes in my house.
I thought that I was surprised that mat was in front of Anthony's house or was in his home. So because he's so quiet. He's so reserved. So I'm like, okay. And that's what she said. Okay.
Yeah, he got a little Doug in him.
Right, because that's attractive. Don't mean no punk that's just gonna roll over and do anything I tell you to do. Like, you know.
But probably would have known that if he was actually really trying to pursue her as well.
Yeah. So this is where I started to think like Sue-Ann is weird. First of all, the fact that she acted like that kiss with Blake was amazing. That was the first insight that she's weird. The girl, that was a peck.
That was the first.
Anyway, so so I thought it was so odd that Sue-Ann, you're sitting here, Anthony has invited you to his home.
Mm-hmm.
And then she's like, so am I on your list? Why else would you be here?
That's what I thought. But his reaction made me feel like, no.
I feel like Anthony's reaction was like, why else would I have you in my house?
Oh, okay. Maybe that's
like it's one thing, because I mean, he has a nice home.
He's in there,
and he's allowed this production company into his home. Mm-hmm. Everyone else is like meeting out and about and stuff like that, but I'm like, he let you in his home, girl.
Yeah, he said he was taking notes from the last elimination.
So he's trying to step it up, because y'all talking about he don't do enough.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So he invites you in his house and is like, ooh, let's make this salad together. Let's do this, let's do that. And you're like, am I on your list? So, man, why you acting dumb?
She's dating Blake.
I just feel like sometimes in some of her stuff, I'm like, that is the epitome of book smart. And where the rest?
I thought that was crazy. I think that he did a good job cooking. I don't know. I don't know what she's expecting. It's like you're expecting all these things from Anthony. Is Blake giving you all of this? I can't imagine that he is. And I didn't like the way that she rated the date. Like the beginning was good, the middle was iffy, and the ending was great. I was just like, what is going on?
Yeah, because it takes two, girl.
She's expecting, I feel like, way too much when he's giving you as much as he wants to give. So at some point you're gonna, instead of trying to force people to do certain things that you want them to do, you have to accept where they are with you.
Or you can, whatever. You can also give some. Like, what are you putting into this? She's expecting him to wow her. She's expecting to be impressed by his cooking, by his dancing. And it's like, Sue-Ann, what are you bringing to the table?
Yep. I don't know what she's doing. What is she bringing?
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, but I mean, it's like, and I was also getting from Anthony, I was like, maybe he's not comfortable. Like, I thought their date was super weird. And I mean, they showed us what they showed us. I just still thought it was weird that they didn't have more to, their conversation seemed empty.
It did. And I think that's just a testament to where they are in their relationship. Maybe he's not as interested as maybe his other connections are a little bit, better.
It seemed like it definitely was Cynthia.
Yeah, Cynthia, for sure.
So after Sue-Ann and Anthony's awkward date, we move on to Jeffrey and Mark Anthony's date.
Mm-hmm. Can I say?
Of course.
So in a couple of episodes back, or the last one, remember I was saying I feel like Jeffrey looks sick. Something is off with her. Like she's not looking how she looked some other time, so well pieced together. And I guess that goes in line with what she exposed to Mark Anthony, that she has Crohn's disease. But he was very compassionate.
He was. When he's with Jeffrey, he seems to mature.
He does.
When he's with Mercedes, he seems to be more natural.
Mm-hmm.
So
but he's good in both. I think he's good in both. My own expectation of him with Jeffrey is her kids. He's so young, and I just don't know how he's going to do with being a bonus dad, or in this case, I guess just the dad to 3 kids.
And the thing about that also, that I think that would benefit Mark Anthony, is if he truly was like, what do I want? Like, do I want to be a father someday? Sure. Do I want to be a father to my own kids? Like, I think he really needs to think that through, because stepping into that role is no joke. and they're going to be there every day. So like you said, he's literally stepping into a full-blown dad mode. It's not like he gets to watch his wife be pregnant, watch her give birth, and like experience his hurdles with her. She's already in it. So he'd have to be ready, just like Mercedes was saying to Anthony in that other episode. You got to be ready to jump in.
You can see they obviously have a really nice connection.
Yeah.
No, we've had have live previous to meeting each other. So not only does our connection need to line up, but our lives need to mesh.
Yes. Yeah. But I think it shows that she can be really vulnerable with him, and she feels really received by him.
She does. I think she does. And I like how she talks so soft. I could see how men really find that like attractive because she's so womanly, you know?
Yeah. I know I haven't been 100% team Jeffrey, but 100%. She's very gentle. I think it was Andre earlier in this episode, he was like, she was really just checking in on me. She was really doing this. And he was like, I just got a lot of respect for that. He's like, I love that. And it seems like some of the other guys that she has connection with, they were kind of like, so it just seems like that's her.
Yeah. She's genuine.
So I could see that being something that is attractive, because all these men want to act like they're big and bad and burly and they can take on the world, but they want somebody to take care of them.
They do. And they want someone they can take care of. So
so they were showing Tony with Morgan, and at the same time they were showing Mercedes with Mark Anthony. Yeah. And then that's where we got the juxtaposition of Mark Anthony. And I was like, oh, okay, he can fill it out. But like you said, he seems like those are totally both him. Like, to me, neither one of them seemed phony.
Nope, they don't.
And I think it's because Mercedes is so laid back.
Yeah,
he can be super chill with her and like be playful, and we don't have kids, we can be loose.
Yeah.
And then with Jeffrey, he's more like, I'm mature, I'm gonna be the man you want me to be. And I just wonder, because you could put that forth for so long, and I'm not saying he's being phony on purpose. I think he really wants these women, but after a while, one of those personas is going to fail. It's going to fall. You can't be two people healthily.
No, I don't think you can be two people, but I'm not sure that I feel like he's being two people. I kind of just feel like each of these women speak to different parts of him.
I can see that.
Yeah. But when him and Mercedes had that kiss, I felt that kiss through the screen.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, I was like, oh, that was a real kiss.
Yeah, that was.
Unlike everybody else's, it seems kind of weird and awkward. Like, they were like, no, I'm feeling you, and they just did it.
And it was like, wasn't too much. It was very sweet. Like, a lot of times I hate to see people kiss and stuff like that, because I'm like, what in the hell? But that was like, oh, it was sweet.
Then opposite of that, Tony and Morgan, I feel like Tony is scared to be himself, and he comes across very ingenuine, and he is like saying what he needs to say that he thinks is going to be pleasing. And then this is where we come back full circle about Morgan. I feel like Morgan is scared to let I feel like Morgan's scared to be vulnerable. So she's trying to like grab him and hold him and tell him to be this and tell him to be that, because she wants to make sure she's getting what she thinks she's getting. And it's like, girl, if he ain't giving you what you want, you ain't gonna make him. Let him go.
Yeah. But I don't know. I feel like what you're saying is, I agree, but she's just becoming too aggressive. It goes right in line with what you're saying. She's trying to make sure that she's like his top connection, but instead of worrying about that, just be who you are and let the connection fall where they may. But she's really trying to secure and tell him to cut everything out. You still have two connections?
And she continues to put it over his head.
Yeah.
You continue to talk about Lyndon, but then when you feel like he's looking around anywhere else, you're like, it better just be me. Now, it was one thing when she was like, you're doing this with everybody. Okay, because you worry if Tony is legit. Yeah. But the fact that like you're trying to get him to just have eyes for you, Morgan.
Stop it.
Yes. Stop so it, that was interesting. I also thought it was interesting that she called him a mischievous toddler. Because I was like, yeah, he seems childish, but I don't know if I'd call him a mischievous toddler.
I don't know. The much I just feel like this is just who he is.
Yeah.
You know, like I was thinking for the longest time that he was just putting on this facade for TV, but I think this is just who he is.
Yeah, I can see that.
Because when it was like I was saying, like when he was with Jonique, I didn't mind it. I didn't mind at all.
Yes, he seemed cool.
Yeah, because I was like, oh, they're like really vibing. Like even if they're not in a romantic way, I just appreciated him just being his authentic self. It's just like even because it was nice.
Like, I didn't feel like he was putting on, or like he's all like trying to be suave, sexy, Tony. He just like cool with Jonique. Just like laughing, like listening to her, seeming like he's really like interested in what she's saying.
I bet that there's gonna be some like, even though Jonique is gone, like I don't know that him and Morgan are gonna make it. I could see on the reunion like him and Jonique like talking after the show wraps.
I can see that. I can see that. So then our last date, Morgan and Blake. Why she do this?
Why did she do it? Girl, she has some fun to get off her chest.
When she kept saying to him, you didn't hurt my feelings. You didn't hurt my feelings. I was like, girl, you sound hurt.
Yes, and if you are not thinking about him and you don't care, why did you call this date? You could have left
because
that man.
I just want to let him know what he said to me was rude. Okay, you already said that.
If you're not bothered, why does it matter? Girl, she called that man a malignant cancer.
I just wanted to get this off my chest. I didn't really have I don't really like you. I don't want to see you around. You're on a show with him, girl. You're going to see him again.
Did you not have called him on the phone?
Did you not have said something when y'all had a group outing that was already orchestrated to come out your private time to meet with this man that you don't care for?
Right. I don't know. What do you think this is about? Do you think that maybe she...
Girl, for ratings.
She really got upset about...
Girl, that was ratings.
I was just like, what is going on? But in the same respect, like we know that I don't really care for Blake. And so I was very happy that she spoke her mind, said how she felt. Girl, at the end, I'm going to read this because this was so funny. It was not nice talking to you. I hope I don't see you anymore because these women deserve a better man than you. Girl, you know you're going to see this man again.
That's what I said. You're going to see him again. You signed up to be on the show with him. You know he's going to come around to the next group thing. What are you talking about?
Sound bothered.
You sound so bothered that you rehearsed what she was going to say. Like, if you didn't really care and you're not bothered. But this is the thing. I really feel like we keep saying, why is Blake still here? Why is Blake still here? And so they know that, like, Blake is getting that negative attention. And so they're like, ooh, who wants to say something against Blake? And I feel like Morgan was like, I'll do it, because who else was going to pop up against him? Cynthia's not getting in that mess.
Nobody.
Suanne likes him. Marcia is like, I don't like this, It's like, Mercedes is like, probably like, I'm not doing that. So Morgan's like, I'll do it.
Yeah, nobody cared enough besides Morgan, the unbothered one.
I love when people say it. You're like, you're the most bothered person I know.
Oh, real.
If you enjoyed watching us, we just want to say thanks for checking us out. Please like, subscribe, and comment, and we will get back to you in the comments. Cheers.